When days grow shorter, winds blow colder, and water temperatures drop, most of us don't start planning our next trip to the lake. But for fishing guides like Brian Carper, cold weather is no excuse to stay home. There's still plenty of fish to catch. Wildside guide Barry Cross takes us to Percy Priest Lake, where the bass still bite during the bitter winter.
It's pretty neat to come out and just see things that you can't see any other time of the year. Oh, just lost one.
It's windy. The water's a cold 40 degrees. The fish are stubborn, and Brian Carper is right at home with his four-legged assistant, Mo.
You have to change how you're fishing, and you do have to have patience, and you got to dress warm. But nevertheless, you can come out here in the winter and catch bass all year round.
To Brian, fishing for winter bass is about adjusting to conditions.
And they won't move around much, so you got to try to the best of your ability to present your bait to them.
Setting realistic goals.
You just have to fish slower, and what really helps mentally is you do have to lower your expectations a little bit.
And bringing along your favorite fish enticements.
Today I came out and I prepared 3 baits, a little bitsy jig, finesse jig, a drop shot, and a jigging spoon.
Like a lot of fishermen, he even modifies his lures, hoping to attract that big bite.
And this is just a 1/2 ounce silver. I like to paint it with some white and put a little red in it for some blood or some gills.
But he's not a big fan of fancy colors.
You know, it blows my mind how bubblegum or pink works, but there's no one secret color. There's colors that are better than others, but it's more just water clarity, making sure it's visible to them, and just being confident in what you're using.
Confidence in a bait or a particular style of fishing will give you the patience needed for a winter bass trip.
There's one. There's a little largemouth, and I've been throwing it shallow, but I haven't seen any activity up there. Now, this is no monster fish, but nevertheless, they usually concentrate together in the wintertime in deeper water, so at least it gives me the insight that deep is where I need to be.
And when the fish stop biting here, Brian uses his past knowledge and electronics to locate another area with similar characteristics.
In the wintertime, like I said, a lot of them are gonna pile up together, and they're gonna be deep on a river bend or on a hump or a ledge. And most of the time in the winter, you start by finding bait and either throwing a jigging spoon and popping them through the bait and trying to trigger some bass to bite your spoon or jig. Or like we're using today, use a drop shot. But you know, these fish don't move around much in the winter. So what they do move around for is food when they're hungry. So you can pretty much guarantee, not every time, but when you find a bait, school of bait, that's at least a high percentage spot to start.
Winter fishing means the weather can change quickly, and when it does, it's time for Mo and his master to head to a quieter part of the lake. One of Brian's favorite fishing spots.
All right. And these fish are a little bit shallower. We were fishing 30 feet, now we're fishing 15. They got more color, they're not as pale. Usually when you catch them super deep, they look like a ghost.
It's a good way to end a day of winter bass fishing.
Wish you had his big brother, but maybe.
Now if the sun would just stay up a little longer. I'm Barry Cross on Tennessee's Wildside.